Greetings, everybody. Good evening, and welcome. Welcome to what I promise this time is actually going to be another stream of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, and not just me sitting around forgetting to play the game again, I swear. Food industry, amateur. So, rather than programming assembly lines, you're going to be programming food preparation equipment? Is that it? Well, Donald the Kiwi, of all the alternatives you could have chosen... Oh, hello, feeling nifty. Oh, great. Well... Alright, have a good one, Redial Nick. I know, I'm starting later than I normally do today. I apologize for that. It's been a day. And Sugar Crow, I'm happy for you. Yeah, those kinds of things are always a little bit weird when someone first drops 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 subs on you. But it's nice. It's nice to know that somebody cares enough to be willing to do that, you know? I was just about to say, Sugar Crow, and it's undeniable reaffirmation that people actually like you and they appreciate what you do. 28. Oh, 2 emote slots in one shot. Very nice. Congratulations. Welcome back, Alyss. Industrial ovens, packaging equipment, and sausage making equipment. Fascinating, amateur. May I ask if it's not a drastic overstep of... Oh, God! Well, speaking of which, here we go already. Donald the Kiwi, thank you so much for the 10 gift subs to K2LAT, Arnold6435, Blubberburned, Casual Run Gaming, Bruce Man Eat, The Black Rider, Jazz Chicken 87, that's a good one, Ferval TDO, Brando the Great, and Natsuna. Well, thank you so much, Kiwi. I really appreciate that. I guess so, Arnold. I'm sure you were a cool kid before this. Hey, Magnus! How you doing? Good to see you, man. How have you been? Amateur, I was gonna ask. And, Donald the Kiwi, thank you again. I seriously appreciate that. That was incredibly... And especially now, Donald the Kiwi, you've provided that support at a fairly crucial time. Because I'm in the process of working toward a sub goal, a time goal, actually, of being above 500 subs for 2 months, which will enable me, as long as Twitch keeps their promise, of course, it will enable me to renegotiate my contract with them and earn a more favorable revenue split so that hopefully I can start doing this on a more regular basis, ideally full-time. And that gift of 10 subs will absolutely help to keep me above that number until such time, which I think is going to be around the 18th of this month. I will hit the 60-day mark. So thank you, Donald the Kiwi. That puts us at 582 subs at the moment, so I've got a fairly decent, comfortable buffer now. Amateur, what I had been going to ask was what sort of company you work for. It sounds like you work somewhere in, like a stockyard or so. Oh God, Donald, that doesn't mean you have to... I was only trying to let you know why I especially appreciate that now of all times. I wasn't trying to imply that you had to break the bank on my account. But thank you. Thank you, Donald the Kiwi. I seriously appreciate that. That is inordinately benevolent of you. Thank you for gifting another 10 subs to Teacup Baggins, DBGT5551, Planet Breaker, Blackuya, Ned the Ninja Spams R1, Bato, Super Castle Beast, Hungry, Go Go Golem, and Turles 757. Well, thank you, Donald. I really appreciate that. That now puts us at... What does it put us at? It puts us at 592. Oh, very clever monotone. Ah, Vosser! Vosser, I see why you asked me that. You're trying to round it out to a nice even 600, huh? Alright, alright. Vosser, thank you. I had been just about to tell you, Vosser, to answer your question. With the 20 that Donald the Kiwi just donated, we were at 592, but that rounds it out rather evenly to 600. And I've been above the 500 mark since, I want to say September... No, August, I think. August 26th. So we're coming up on it. I've tried my best to calculate it, and as near as I can tell, it's going to be somewhere around the 18th that I hit the 60-day mark, at which point, we'll need to make sure that I stay above 500 subs for another few days after that, which should give me time to submit the application and say to Twitch, yeah, look, I'm still above the 500 subs mark. But I'm not expecting anyone to do anything massive for that. I've been saving up so that I can just gift a bunch of people subs myself, so that I don't have to sit here and ask my community to cover 300 gift subs expiring. So I'm prepared to do that. I do, Donald, yes, and thank you seriously for that. This ought to hold me until we had a crazy couple of days at the end of August, which is what put me above 500 and positioned me to prepare for renegotiating in the first place. The first day, people donated, I think, 130 gift subs in one night, and then a couple of days later, people donated 180, which is incredibly generous, but what it means is gift subs only last 30 days. And they don't auto-renew, because obviously that would be incredibly unfair to the people who were gifted them, because, you know, they might not have found out they were gifted a sub, and for them to suddenly be charged monthly without them knowing or realizing it would be, well, bad business, to say the least. People were kind enough to actually renew or re-gift that same number of subs this past month, but I can't ask my community to keep doing that, so... this time, I'm prepared to dip into savings to gift that number of subs myself, to keep the number up for just long enough to show Twitch that I'm complying with the terms of their renegotiation. And then hopefully after that we can relax a little, and I won't have to appeal to my community to do these kinds of crazy things, because I hate asking for this, you know? The Topsy-Turvy, on that subject, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back, really appreciate that. And no need to apologize, the streams are here for people when you're available to watch. Thank you, Magnus, I really appreciate that. Once my community got the momentum going, I felt like I needed to do everything in my power to keep it going, because to do otherwise would just be a massive failure on my part. I would be failing everyone who tried so hard to put me here in the first place, so I want to make sure I stay true to all the effort and the generosity people have shown, and, you know, see this thing through to the end. Thank you, Not Here to Stream. I seriously appreciate that. Well, Handsome, I'm not ready to celebrate until I've actually gotten a reply from Twitch. And they've confirmed that they've accepted my renegotiation request. Because there's a chance that they might not, but that had bloody well better not happen because I've now, by the time I submit the application, I will have complied with what they told me the terms were last time I attempted to reach out to them about that. They were very clear in their response that I had to stay above 500 subs for 2 months, and then I could contact them again and try to renegotiate. And I plan on bargaining fairly forcefully with them, so hopefully it'll all work out. Unless they've somehow moved the goalposts since then, which would absolutely infuriate me, and which I would not take lying down, that's for damn sure. Oh, is that so, Magnus? I see by your badge that you got to go to TwitchCon. And I'm glad you enjoyed it, but, yeah, I feel like a lot of that hype is just manufactured for the purpose of advertising. And it's not that I don't appreciate Twitch doing that. I mean, they go to a great deal of expense to hold TwitchCon, and they do a fair amount for partners, both at and outside the event. But I've always kind of felt like the hype, at least the partner-facing hype and the community-facing hype, have never been 100% genuine, you know? I feel like a lot of it is, yeah, this is what our marketing team said we should do. How much do you pay for a good quality steak at a It honestly depends, Vassar. It depends. You can get a good steak at a regular kind of family-type restaurant for, oh, probably, I don't know, 15 pounds GBP. I'm trying to think of this in your own currency here. Yeah, probably like 15, 16 GBP for a steak for one person. But then there's a point of diminishing returns, right? Because then you can go to a steakhouse and pay like 30, 40, 50 GBP for an exceptional steak. Or you can just get that good 16-pound steak 3 or 4 times. So it depends. Thank you, handsome one. I really appreciate that. Wellbone, I have an alternative and somewhat subversive means setting up for gifting subs to myself that will not be traceable to me. Believe me, I have accounted for that possibility. Yes, Donald the Kiwi, it will. Bob, we're on the second case, and actually, there we go. Bone, thank you for the 210 bits. I really appreciate that. Donald the Kiwi, not necessarily, because there are relatively few cons where the organizers hype them up to quite the same extent as Twitch hypes up TwitchCon. Well, that's good at least, Magnus. Did you do a meet and greet? Did you reserve one of the meet and greet booths for yourself and hang out there to wait for your community members to show up? Vassar, I'm almost afraid to ask this, but what brought on that question all of a sudden? Shut up, the doctor, I'm getting there. Oh, no kidding, Amateur. Yeah, I'd love it if you'd post pictures, if you don't mind. And Amateur, I might have missed your reply to my question earlier, but, what exactly kind of place are you working at? Oh, well, monotone, if it's just, quote unquote, just Wagyu, yeah, 50 GBP is not unheard of. It's probably about par. If you're talking actual Kobe beef, probably you're talking closer to 200 GBP per ounce. Not per pound, but per ounce. Yeah, Vosser, but they're not gonna. And even if they did, they still wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Oh, okay, Magnus. Well, that's nice too. I'm sure you're not the only person who did that. Hey, Von Malka. Yeah, sure, Vosser. All right. Oh, that figures, Magnus. What happened? Like a single community booked multiple meetup spaces? Because that's kind of rotten if that's what happened. Oh, okay, amateur. Gotcha. Yeah, monotone, but that also takes into account the enormous amount of effort and time investment that goes into raising Kobe cattle. Hey, Yami! Hey, Neffy! Hello, Mr. Nans, welcome! If there is a lot of delay, you might want to try refreshing your stream. And I'm also trying to catch up on chat, I'm a bit behind at the moment. DFX, there are a lot of people out there who love the taste of fat in beef, and the texture when it's marbled. Hey, Artista! Oh, okay, Magnus, I gotcha. No, Neffy, I haven't actually. I literally just loaded the save file 30 seconds ago. Oh, Nans, I didn't realize you were Argentinian. Yeah, I've had Argentinian steak. It's fantastic. Yeah, Von Malka, it's gotta be well marbled for me, and even then, I don't like a lot of fat on beef. Indeed, DFX, indeed. Alright, well, I'm gonna have some tea, and I promise we're gonna actually make some progress in the freaking game tonight. I promise. Thanks to the fact that a couple of kind folks have already probably given well over the evening's quota of any kind of support for the streams, so now I guess I can just forget about that and worry about playing the game and... Oh, Vosser, why do I get a really ominous feeling? Oh, nice, Yami. I hope you enjoy it. Well, Alyss, we've already pretty much gotten a confession out of the murderer in private. They pretty much flat out told us, yeah, you'll never catch me, idiot. Which, of course, we're going to prove them wrong. Oh, nice, Magnus. I'm really glad that some people came to hang out. Mr. Nans, it's funny you say that because I just recently purchased a new grill, and now pretty much any meat that I cook that isn't going into some other recipe like a curry or something, any steak, any sausage, anything like that, I cook on the grill. And I basically barbecue it. I use hardwood for smoke. Well, Yummy, if it was in the freezer, it's probably still good. Yeah, Magnus, the most important thing is you had a good time. Alright. Yeah, Mr. Nans, I was raised in America, and one thing as an American that you learn fairly early in life is how to use a grill. And I'm talking like, there are a couple of different kinds of grills, but I only grill over charcoal. I think gas grills have their place, but if you really want to get the best flavor out of a meat, you have to grill it over wood. You have to barbecue it. Alyssa, I see you are also a woman of culture. Amateur, you too, huh? Yeah, amateur, that's the tricky part, is finding a place where there are no air quality ordinances, or where your neighbors aren't so close to you that using the grill will fill their yard with smoke. Although in my case, my neighbor already does that. He's got a gas grill, and every time he uses it, like, he set it up right below my office window, so every time he uses the damn thing, my entire office gets filled with smoke. So I figure, fuck it, if you can't beat him, join him. So I feel zero guilt now about grilling over charcoal and wood and filling his yard with smoke. Fuck him. It depends, handsome one, it depends. Yeah, it's the first skill they learn even before how to walk, Dandy Wizard, is how to grill a steak. Oh, very good, amateur. Excellent. Magnus, I actually kind of wondered if that was the case based on watching your streams and just listening to your accent and the way you speak. I wondered if maybe you were from Jersey. I actually grew up not that far from you, Magnus. I grew up in Connecticut. So, New England bros unite. No, Dandy Wizard, I'm very careful about that. I make sure to follow every, you know, every safety precaution and all that stuff. If only, Von Malka, but I can't. Believe me, I've tried. Handsome one, generally speaking, if I'm gonna do a really simple steak, like a ribeye or something on the grill, I won't put sauce on it, no, because then, yeah, that, in a case like that drowns out the taste of the steak. In the case of a ribeye or something like that, where I just want to taste the meat, little bit of salt, little bit of black pepper, rub both sides and the edges. You need a significant amount, but you don't want to go too heavy. You want enough to season it, but not enough to overpower it. And then 3 minutes per side over direct coals for medium rare. And then you move it over to the cool part of the grill. You can either use the cold grate technique, or you can put it on the cool part of the grill first before you sear it. And you close the grill with a couple of hardwood chunks on the coals, with the steaks over the side of the grill where the coals are not situated. And then that will work some smoke into the steak as well. Hello, Ghostranow, welcome! Hello, Haretsu, good to see you! Ah, Mr. Nans, thank you so much for the sub. Did you sub because I'm talking about grilling steak? Is that why? Is that what convinced you? Oh, nice, Java. Yeah, it sounds like it's just part of the culture where you are. People do it here in Germany as well, but usually only during the summer, whereas I like to grill all year round. Thank you, Mr. Nans. I appreciate it. Alf the Doctor. What are you, a Gen Zer? Oh, Von Malka, I would have guessed the UK if fish and chips were your national food, but okay, yeah, New Zealand makes sense as well. Handsome one, the only time I would really use a sauce for barbecue is if I'm doing something like pork ribs. Oh good, I'm glad to hear that, Topsy-Turvy. Oh, no kidding, Donald. No kidding, I wouldn't have guessed so young. But I appreciate you just as much regardless. Hello, Tucker, welcome. Monotone, do we really need to do this early? Really, Yami? Well, Taiwan's a hell of a lot more progressive than China, then. Because China doesn't even do all that much barbecue as far as I know, and the air quality over there is crap. Thank you, unchecked industrialization. Really though, Yami, I didn't realize barbecue was that popular in Taiwan. Do you guys also do barbecue in the same style as America? Do you do it like with charcoal or with gas grills? Or is there some other more unique and kind of endemic way? Magnus, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Yeah, and what Magnus just said. All right, Topsy, thank you. I will do my best to remember that. Monotone, if there's anyone here who has no excuse, it's me, not you, given what time it is. Oh, okay, Yami, interesting. I'm actually really pleased to hear that. Alright. Alright, it's time for me to keep my word. Let's see if we can't actually make a little bit of progress here. Nick. Yeah? Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18, just like me? Yeah, why? I was just thinking about how strong she is. I saw her bench pressing 350 pounds and just chugging steroids. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time by herself, and she's so grown up. Yeah, and I'm sure she felt a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. And then you look at me and, well, I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm still just a little girl. We saw like 2 lines of it, Tucker. We've already gotten farther in the past 10 seconds than I did in the entire previous 3-hour stream. Persona S? Mr. Nans, what? I haven't even heard of Persona S. You mean Persona 5 Royal, or did they announce another one that I just haven't caught up on? Oh god, Vosser. Oh, the Switch one! I haven't actually researched anything about it, because I don't own a Switch. Oh, I didn't know it was a Warriors clone, Donald the Kiwi. Yeah, it sounds like I've got some reading to do. And on top of that, I'm the suspect in a murder trial. But I think you're really strong too, Maya, for all you've gone through. And unlike Franziska, you also did not turn out to be a complete, insane bitch. Good morning! Oh, hi, Pearl. The two of you look like you're doing well today. Yeah, look at us, we're so happy. Everyone's just having a great day. Maya's on trial for murder, everything's fantastic. Hey, morning, Pearly. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. I brought a gun. Huh? What do you mean? My mother is coming today to show her oh, great. Yeah, that's right, Pearly. Hey, Pearls. Yes, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? I haven't seen enough tits this week. Yeah, just knowing what kind of game it is, I'm already skeptical, Dandy Wizard. Huh? I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please, it's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Yeah, Steve the guard over there. My waifu. Pearly, not this again! Please, can you do this for us, Pearls? Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake. See you later, then. I'll leave you two to your alone time. With my sister, I guess. Phew, thank goodness. Nick? This way, Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. What do you mean? What's going on? I also brought a gun. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you've made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Here's Mia Pearl, I guess. Don't be foolish, you foolish fool wearing the foolishly foolish clothes. The famous one is me. I'm the prodigy who's never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. Yeah, enjoy that for the next couple of hours it lasts. Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. That's nice, Miss Von Karma. Glad to see you're in such good spirits today, Miss Fey. It's true what they say, women really are scary when they fight. This is nothing compared to some girlfriends I've had. Somebody please explain this to Tucker. I don't have the energy to go through tits again in this universe. At least two, Yami. Von Karma himself and now his daughter. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it should have been. Your Honor, I would like to say one thing before we begin. Alright, let's hear it. Prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point. What? But, Ms. Von Karma, then how do you explain this picture? Are you saying then that the person in this picture is not the defendant? I never said that wasn't the defendant. Then what is the meaning of this? All I am saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe that this is when she dropped the key. Can you substantiate your claim? In some ways she's almost worse, Sugar Crow. Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fey, who totally does not have a stake in sending Maya to jail, and who is totally not an accomplice to this murder, to the stand. Just as I suspected, Aunt Morgan. Poor Mia, she seems really torn by this. Witness, name and occupation. My name is Morgan Fey, and I am a spirit medium, in a manner of speaking. I'm sorry, but what do you mean, in a manner of speaking? I don't think anyone really cares. Now then, after the murder took place, you kept watch over the defendant, correct? Yes, that's correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then. Spirit severing technique? A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world. That is... Yes, that is... Ugh! You, be quiet! No, Mia! No, Von Karma, that's not how court works. Now witness. Something happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that's correct. What in the world could have... Mystic Maya, she escaped from the room. What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Order! 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 Miss Fey, please testify to this court what happened during that time. Not usually not here to stream, no. They wouldn't have been allowed in there with a whip in a real courtroom, amateur. You have to go through a metal detector, and you have to go through a security checkpoint. At least one, depending on the courtroom, in order to get in. And you have to submit any bags you're carrying for search. Yeah, amateur, but you'd get your person would be searched as well. A metal detector might not necessarily show up a whip, but they would find it when they search your bags and your person. Your Honor, I will try my best. I think someone just upped the ante on this trial. Alright, Maya's escape. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand and she was in a daze. Then, quite suddenly, she thrust me away from herself and escaped from the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Which is a convenient excuse. Why have you hidden this until now? I did not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise. Oh, then you and I are going to have a little bit to talk about. Oh, hello, Ari. Welcome. We've actually already made a little bit of progress as it is, Ari. That's right, she is simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Why is she making it a point to stab at me? Never mind. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. My aunt is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony. Actually, though, I think I already see one. There is something here of which I am quite suspicious. And it is this statement right here. Because she requested not only that Phoenix, but also that Lotta go contact the police. Why would we need two people to go to the phone booth and call the fuzz? My suspicion here, since it's already blatantly obvious that Morgan is an accomplice to this murder, and I've been operating on that assumption since pretty much the beginning. My suspicion here is that she sent both Phoenix and Lotta to call the police in order to ensure that there were no witnesses in the room with her when she was alone with Maya. Well, no, Tony, because the murderer in that situation still committed the murder with Maya's body. So it's just one of those nonsense discrepancies that games use for the purpose of advancing the plot. Alright. Was it really necessary to have two people do something so simple as call the police? there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind. Yes, that's a very good point. At that time, I myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another what, madam? Oh, it's nothing, no... Oh, okay, yeah, we've got her. I want to hear the end of that sentence. Yeah, we are going to question her further. There was another reason you wanted both of us out of that room, wasn't there? You must testify. Why did you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be any more victims. The lives of both the good sir and that camera woman may be in danger, is what I thought to myself. Yeah, sure. Well, that was very noble of you, Miss Fey. This is bad. Now people have a good impression of her and a bad one of us. Looks like she caught us napping. That's my aunt for you. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Miss Fey, please continue. Well, what else could we get her on? Guess we'll just go down the list. During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head and that this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by this statement? I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie. Oh, okay, well... But why would you lie about something like that? It's very painful for me to say this, however... The witness was lying to cover for the defendant. She was covering for Maya... No, I'm... You'd better explain. So you were covering for the defendant? Well, yes. It was only later that I was informed of what had occurred. That the renegade mystic Maya had done something very unexpected. Something unexpected? What, pray tell, did she... Ah! The witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what this unexpected thing was, there is always later. Yes, very well. No, now! Damn it! Why does it suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach? Now, witness, continue with what happened. Thrust me away from herself and escape the room. All right. Was it really that easy for her to escape from you? I'm ashamed to admit to such a thing, however, yes. But you are physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There is no way she could have escaped from you so easily. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Wright? What about this picture? Remember that at the time, the defendant was not physically Maya Fey. Ugh. Growing old is such a mysterious thing. Trust me, I know firsthand. Oh! That is not what I was expecting from the judge. Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called. Who, let's just point out, was also not exactly a Vietnam War veteran or Bulk Bogan. But if she had run away, wouldn't you have given chase right away? Well, yes, I would have. However... Alright. You fainted? I became dizzy and then collapsed onto the floor. How long were you unconscious? I'm not sure. About 10 minutes, perhaps. And the defendant almost certainly went somewhere in that time. Happy? Witness, elaborate on that point for us. I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Great, well now what? Question further. So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea of where the defendant went. I would think that's obvious, good sir. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? That's a good point, actually. Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this. But the key word here is this witness. What do you mean by that? Means she has another witness up her sleeve, that's what. Looks like Ms. Von Karma is ready to move on to her next witness. That's enough. From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. From what she has said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber. I hope this isn't gonna come back and bite us in the butt. Now let's take the next logical step and ask, where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber? Yes, that is exactly what we should be— be quiet, you! I do not like the way that Franziska is abusing the judge. And that he's just sitting there and taking it. Like a sub. Now then, what the SKP had done was she had gone to speak with a certain person. She went to speak with someone? Who was it? The prosecution calls Miss Eeny Meeny, who was sleeping in the side room at the time. Eeny Meeny? Think you can see where this is headed? There she is. Witness, name and occupation. Okay, so my name is like Eeny Meeny. I'm like researching like parapsychology stuff at the university. What is this parapsychology? Let's see, it's like, I guess most people call it occult stuff. Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that means. Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself. No! That's not how this works! Yes, sir. You freaking pansy. Now then, Miss Meany. After the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is that correct? I guess. If that's the case, let's hear your testimony. That is all right, isn't it, Your Honor? Yes, sir. For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine for my sake. Yeah, right?
Well, thanks for...
Venmaru, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome, and welcome back. Like, when the channeling started, I was, like, sleeping in the side room. Like, a little later, someone came into the room, like, really suddenly. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister. I, like, hadn't seen her in, like, so long. I was so happy in, like, a sad way. This is the testimony of somebody who is clinically insane. My sister, she, like, told me something, like, totally terrible. Now hold your horses, young lady. You're saying the person that entered was your sister. Don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey? Really now, Your Honor. Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at that time. Are you saying that the spirit was the spirit of this witness's sister? Yes, Mimi Meany. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Oh, well, this is... Witness. Like, yeah? In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Like, do I totally, like, really have to? Of course, Miss Meany, please. My sister, like, this is what she said to me. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? She took her revenge? Venmaru, it's not her sister, it's her cousin, Pearl. Are you sure that's what she said? Yes. There, are you satisfied, Your Honor? I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge. I guess you've never played Murdered Soul Suspect. It is a bit hard to swallow. However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. The end. No. It's only the end for you, Von Karma. What do you think, Mr. Wright? It certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for. This testimony just now, was it all made up? Was it just one huge lie? Of course it was! Yes, see? Mia, what do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it, Phoenix. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine the witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder. Yet again, the foolish fool spouts out more foolishly foolish drabble. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last. Well, Franziska, a public execution is always entertaining, isn't it? After the murder, alright. Well, no, Hedgehog. I watched the Best Friends LP it. It looked like a crap game. And I mean, David Cage made it, so... No, not here to stream. I'm thinking of Murdered Soul Suspect, which is another David Cage game that's much older than Beyond Two Souls. Yes, Hedgehog, it was. Oh, wait a minute. No, hang on. Yeah, you guys are right. I thought you guys were saying something completely different. I misunderstood what everyone in chat was getting at. I see. Yeah, no, you're correct. Murdered Soul Suspect was Airtight Games developed and Square Enix published it. I see. Yeah, okay. I did oopsie the names. Well, oopsie. Shut up, Artista. I'm not tired. You're tired. Probably Ovan. I don't even know anymore. Okay, so this statement and this statement... She really put a lot of thought into this lie, didn't... No, she didn't! She just pulled this out of her ass. Don't get careless, okay? Remember, calm and collected. Alright. Yeah, Dandy Wizard, that's the one. Are you absolutely sure? I guess? You guess? Was it or was it not your sister who entered? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I totally don't know your sister at all, Mr. Smith. First off, my name is not Mr. Smith. Second, I'm an only child. But more than that, she's managed to mess up the question with her answer. Well, Mr. Wright, the defense rests. That was a colossal waste of our time. Now then, witness, how did you feel when you saw Ms. Mimi Meanie? You were happy in a sad way? Yeah, like, I mean, it was my sister. But wouldn't most people react here with surprise at seeing a dead loved one alive again? But like, maybe if I was, like, someone who didn't know about, like, the occult. But I, like, know all about the Kurain channeling technique. The point here is the witness immediately recognized that it was her sister. Yeah, like what she said. Should I drop this line of questioning? No. So you really didn't think anything strange of the whole encounter? No, like, there wasn't any reason for me to, like, think anything was strange. But ow! Don't keep badgering her. You know the phrase objection? Could you try using that once in a while? Mr. Wright, this question of what the witness felt when she saw her sister, is it really that important? Yes, it is. Because if she wasn't surprised when she saw her sister, that means she was expecting to see her sister. And if she was expecting to see her sister, then that raises the question of whether this was premeditated. It is very important, although I haven't quite figured out what it is yet. I've got to bluff for now and make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. Alright, Mr. Wright, Miss Meany, please amend your testimony. Like, okay, I'm like totally cool with that. And like her costume... Oh, okay, I've got you now, idiot. Her costume looked totally normal, did it? Is that so? So it didn't have blood on it or anything? Nothing suspicious at all?
Objection!
That was a very well-spun lie, Miss Eni. Huh? What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. Oh, Oh, even Mia calls him out on it. Nice. Miss Meany, may I remind you of what you said? You said there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. Like, yeah, and? But I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sister you met. I would think that even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you like this. The blood spray. Miss Meany, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noted it right off the bat. She's gonna be eating it in another minute or two, amateur. Order! Order! Miss Meany, what is the meaning of this? Miss Meany? I'm thinking! Don't interrupt! Oh! We got something interesting out of her there. Yeah! And what are you stammering about, Your Honor? That witness, her personality did a complete 180 there. Yeah! I'm beginning to think there is more to Miss Meany than meets the eye. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. Like, I'm sorry, I, didn't mean to snap. Now hurry up with the testimony. If you please. The judge still looks a little shaken up. A lot of help he's gonna be. Alright, the side room was, kinda dark, you know? So, the costume is, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. And I, persuaded my sister it wasn't, right to do something like that. Yeah, you persuaded her after the fact, sure. And then, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Yes, now I see. You've given us a clear reason for why you didn't notice the blood. You think? Thanks, Gramps. Are you satisfied, Mr. Wright? Alright, I guess not. Very well, you may question the witness. Okay. So, there's a lot here that's nonsense. You took your sister to the channeling chamber, huh? Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess so. I guess maybe, like, taking her revenge on Dr. Gray, like, made her feel a lot better. I'd like to feel a lot better too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The sooner the better. She says with her whip at the ready. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's no good. I can't find anything wrong. Phoenix, the judge believes this testimony. If you don't find some sort of hitch in her statement, he'll end the trial. I know. We have to give it another shot. It doesn't matter how many times we listen, we can't give up. Alright. And what was your sister, Miss Mimi Meanie, like at the time? Well, she was like totally flipped out because she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think like she knew. She like said she did something really bad. And like she said she wanted to go with me to like apologize to Miss Morgan. Did Mimi's spirit really say all that to you? Like, yeah. May I ask you one more thing, Miss Meanie? Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of place? Something out of place, huh? Like, what do you mean? When? When you... Oh yeah, when you were going to the crime scene. Because... there was the incinerator full of purple cloth with blood on it. I'm talking about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. She answered rather quickly. Now what? Press harder. Think harder. I know you can remember something. There was also the urn that Pearl had broken. I, like, totally can't. That's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to this court. Do you think, Mr. Wright, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the channeling chamber is all that important? Yes, it's very important because either she would have seen the cloth in the incinerator or she would have seen the broken urn and or Pearl repairing the broken urn. And the fact that she doesn't seem to recall any of that suggests to me that this is where she is saying she was at this time is not where she actually was. I ask because it's very important. Not that I know where I'm going with it. Well, fortunately, I do. Very well. Ms. Meanie, if you will, please include a statement about this in your testimony. Like, I don't get why, but okay. I, like, didn't see anyone on the way to, like, the channeling chamber. It's no good. I can't find... Yes, I can! Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I need to do this, though. I think I have to use this statement and present... What do I present? I guess I'll start with the urn, because she would have had to... Objection! I finally found the fault, or I guess in your case, the crack in your perfect lie. Take a look at this urn. Like, urn? There are cracks, do you see them? I love that we just magically have the urn. Or I guess we just have a picture of it, maybe. So, like, what does that prove? Who cares about some worn-out old urn? Like, yeah, I already, like, said I didn't see, like, anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. I didn't, like, totally say anything about an urn, did I? It looks like you still don't understand. I propose that if you really had been walking along the winding way at that time, there was no way you could have not seen the... Oh, okay. Pearl, because she was fixing the urn. No, I got this, amateur. I know what I have to do now. I'd like to introduce someone to you. This is Miss Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Yes, and how is this child relevant? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. Oh, and she just happened to break this urn. Oh. Oh! Wait, she broke the urn? Yup, she accidentally knocked it over with her ball. Nah, and Pearl was the one who put it back together. While sitting right in the middle of the winding way. Oh! Wow! What? Miss Meanie. Pearl was there in the winding way at the time. She was hard at work putting the pieces of the urn back together, you see. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. Grr. I think I have sufficiently proven one thing, Miss Meanie. You are a masterful liar. Blah! Mr. Wright, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Miss Meanie, tell us the truth. About what? About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course. The witness just testified about that. That's right. I was like sleeping in the side room. Can I really believe her? There's no way. No, this is bullshit. Your lies end here. What are you? The witness says that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible because there's clearly a contradiction here. A contradiction? Where is this? Were you not listening to the testimony? You senile old man? Were you literally asleep? It's in her testimony just now, you doofus. Early in her testimony, Miss Meanie, you made the following statement. And like Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's true that at the time both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We'd gone to call the police. So? Like, what does that, have to do with anything? It's very simple. Miss Meanie, how do you know that fact? How? I concede that Miss Fay was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means, Miss Meanie, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by way of the winding way. Ugh. But look at the Manor Guide map. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the winding way. Yes, that's right, Your Honor, which is why I asked this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Miss Meanie, please answer the question. Don't ask a question off a baseless assumption, if you please. This is not an assumption. We found a contradiction in her testimony. Shut up, Franziska. Well, I suppose since you put it on the table, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Now's your chance, Phoenix. Yeah, the only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Meenie. So now is the time to prove it. Yeah, she was in the channeling chamber. She hid in the clothing box, dressed as Mia. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Where was the witness when the murder took place? She was in the channeling chamber. Take that! Miss Meanie was here, of course. What? But that's the channeling chamber. Isn't that the crime scene? That's right. Miss Meanie was at the scene of the crime. Order that Mr. Phoenix Wright. Have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the chamber when the channeling started. Yes, that's correct. Please explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Simple. Miss Eenie Meenie was hiding at the scene of the crime. I was hiding? Where? Where was I hiding? Right freaking here. Take that! Here, of course. Behind the folding screen? Ah! Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. See, you stupid jerk? When she's angry, she looks a lot like the picture of her sister. Quit being so quick to pin it on me, you slime ball. Now, Miss Meanie, one so young as you shouldn't be saying, "Shut it, Gramps," as if you knew exactly how old I am. I'm sorry? Looks like the pipe's about to burst. Guess I should help it along. The witness was hiding behind the folding screen with the help of this. Wow, she is just going insane. She was hiding in the clothing box. Miss Meanie, how you were able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is very simple. You were hiding inside this box. Oh, we get a new cornered theme, I guess. Huh. That tiny little box, no person could fit in that. Sorry, but your theory has already been disproved. Lotta disproved you when she was hiding from me in it. But that clothing box was in the side room, right? Which means it has nothing to do with the murder at all. That's right, I was sleeping there, so I should know. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time. No, it was not. Mr. Wright, do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the murder? Yes, I can, because there's a matching bullet hole in the clothing box and the folding screen. And now I present the piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Oh, okay, King Zaffy, I gotcha. Take a look at this clothing box. You're so stupid, as if there's any sort of evidence in that old thing. This? What on earth? Ugh! I don't have time for you to sit there surprised. Hurry up and say it already. There's a hole, about 8 inches off the ground. A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Where have we heard that before? The folding screen. It had a hole at the same height. That's right. I hope this has opened your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen, which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Ugh. Miss Meanie, you were hiding behind the folding screen waiting for your chance. Yes, for your chance to kill Dr. Gray. Order! So what do you say? Then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo is Miss Eenie Meenie? That is exactly what I am saying. Miss Eenie Meenie, you were hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey. She would have had easy access to the costume because it would have been in the clothing box. To masquerade as Maya Fey, she had it planned from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my client. No, stop! I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved the clothing box to the crime scene, pretended to be the defendant, killed the victim, and then fled the scene of the crime. It's not possible for one person to do that all by herself. That's correct! She had an accomplice! It really is impossible. For one person to do all the preparations, that is. Ow! Need I remind you? The foolish receive no mercy. Wait, Ms. Von Karma, you said it was not possible for one person, correct? What? You can't be serious. Ugh. Ms. Meanie, you had an accomplice. You sure did. Grr, this person. If it wasn't someone from Kurain Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Fey household, you wouldn't have that box to use. Morgan Fey? Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had earlier? Yeah, she's so wonderful. What do you have to say to this, Ms. Meanie? You shot Dr. Gray with your own 2 hands. Do you deny it? Ah! Got him. I think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then the channeling started. The murderer crept silently towards the other two, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then she stabbed Dr. Gray with the knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened. Unexpected? Yes. Dr. Gray was actually not dead yet. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. And that is why the hole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray and shot him in the face. After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room. Yes, a gunshot is certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Ms. Meany, she immediately covered her own costume with blood and pretended to be Maya Fey. But that sort of deception would have been easy to see through. Which is precisely why Morgan Fey chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Hurry, before there are more victims here. What is one supposed to say? This is the real truth behind this murder. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Who is that, laughing at a time like this? Ah! Oh, you simple-minded fools, I'm sorry, are you still by chance evolving? What is it this time? Ms. Von Karma, surely. Of course it was me. Do you really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty? Yes. What in the world? Mr. Phoenix Wright, your argument is flawed in one very crucial area. And that is? If this witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Huh? Working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act? What reason would she have to do such foolish things? Yeah, well, that's, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, and one other thing. Why would Miss Eenie Meenie want to kill Dr. Gray? What is her revenge for the death of her sister? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say, too. Yeah, motive. I don't have a motive. A motive? That's... I can't say she has no motive here. I have to think of a motive now. What is her reason for wanting Dr. Gray dead? It's blatantly obvious what her reason is. The reason you wanted Dr. Gray dead is this. It's one of the newspaper clippings. I think it's the second one. Yeah, 2 women's car crashed. Because I think we've got a quote from her in this article. Yeah, I was like totally tired and I dropped off to sleep. Then there was a crash. I woke up in a sea of flames. I don't remember anything else. The one driving the car was her sister, Mimi Meanie. The nurse at Gray's surgical clinic. Yeah, I think this is, Ha, just as I thought. You bore me with your silly answers, Phoenix Wright. It's great. Now even she's calling me by my full name. You think I did this to get revenge for my sister's death? Yes! Because through that accident, you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself. Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I wanted to take revenge based on nothing? What do you mean by that? Senile, stupid Gramps. I'm like going to explain, so please listen, okay? Oh, yeah, she's got 2 different personalities here. It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. If I, like, wanted revenge, then, like, I wouldn't have waited this long. And sides, like, that guy thought the spirit thing was like Dr. Gray. Or the guy that thought of the spirit thing was Dr. Gray. It was like a total coincidence he asked me about it, you know? She's back to her airhead persona. Ow! Pathetic, Mr. Wright. You failed to support your own theory. The end. No. I think we have our answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What Miss Meany stated is very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated, and she has no motive in the first place. Furthermore, there's no reason for Miss Morgan Fay to cooperate this plan. Yes, there is! You don't even have any truly decisive pieces of evidence to demonstrate your point. Yeah, other than the ones I've already presented. So many faults, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You should really learn your place. Ugh. What happened? I thought I had her for sure. See, like, it's just as I, told you. Eh? Hope you liked your slice of humble pie. Very well, now I conclude the cross-examination of Miss Eeny Meeny. Eh? Your Honor, please allow the defense one more minute. All right. You can't lose here. Have faith in yourself. Mia, yes, it does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for a murder. But you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. True, Haretsu, very true. Really? Listen, Phoenix, everything happens for a reason. There is a reason for why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it is also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion. Time is up, Mr. Wright. Your final answer, please. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Meany had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you prove the reason? Yes, of course I can. Not totally confident here, but I know that I must press on no matter what. That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now. I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Meany had a motive. Ha ha ha, too bad, you're too late. My cross-examination has already ended after all. Ah! Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? You're supposed to be on my side. Ah! A Von Karma only cares about the perfect win. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What are you now, Garland from Final Fantasy I? We going bowling now? I, Franziska, will knock you all down. I don't care if you are my witness, so help me, I will throw you out of my way. No way! Very well. If Franziska is... this writing is getting really stupid. If Franziska cared about a perfect win, she would have just let Eeny have this. The court will take a 5-minute recess. Yeah, she's just an amateur with a whip, Yami. Hello, Shersha, welcome. We will continue the cross-examination after we reconvene. Hey, wait a sec here. We already did that, Shersha, in the beginning. Oh. Okay, I guess we're gonna save. She's just as bad, Neffy. Just as arrogant. Just as self-absorbed. Narcissistic. Is it really true about my aunt? I'm afraid so, Maya. There's no way Eeny could have killed Dr. Gray by herself. And under the circumstances, there's no one else other than your Aunt Morgan. That's terrible. Why? Why would my aunt... Everything is going just as I predicted, Mr. Phoenix, right? Ah! Von Karma! Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to take revenge on Nick? Nick had nothing to do with what happened to your dad. Don't you have something better to be worrying about? Say, your own situation? Ugh. Looking down on me even though we're the same age. Are you done yet? You've caused me enough pain and suffering. Yeah, and I'm about to cause you more. My goal is to defeat you and let the whole world know of your defeat. But even if you do that, it won't bring your father... What do you mean won't bring him back? He's dead now? He should be in jail. Huh. Whatever. In the meantime, let's bring this match to its conclusion. And then we'll know who the real winner is. All right. Yeah, Japan loves that kind of thing, Citizen Strife. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Can you prove Miss Eenie Meenie had a motive? Yes, I believe I can. Eenie Meenie and Dr. Gray have only one point of connection, and that is the car accident 1 year ago. The motive I'm looking for must be there. Ms. Meenie, please testify to this court about your car accident last year. Huh? I thought, you wanted to, ask about my, motive. I, don't see the point in, bringing up the past. Ms. Meenie, if you please. Okay, I totally don't think it'll do any good, but... What, Von Karma or Eenie Meenie? Overwhelming shotgun. Artista, did you use the tilde on purpose there? Japnyan? They did find him guilty of murder, Loki. That's why Franziska wants revenge. Phoenix proved him guilty of murdering Edgeworth's father. That was, last year in May. Something really bad had happened at, my sister's clinic around then. And, the night of the accident, my sis was totally tired when she was driving. I was, totally pooped, too, so I, fell asleep in the passenger seat. Okay. I, woke up because of a jolt, and, it was a sea of flames around me. I, opened the door and, got away. I think I've heard of this incident. It was all the talk on the tabloid shows day after day last year. Yes, and there was talk about Dr. Gray drugging your sister? Ugh! Those were merely rumors, totally baseless gossip. Yes, Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Right now, it's impossible to prove that Dr. Gray did in fact drug Meanie's sister. Yeah, which means I'll have to work on this from another angle. That's right, Haretsu. Oh, gotcha, Artista. I see. Right, Loki? Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's see, that was last year, something bad had happened. After the accident, your sister was tired when driving. Okay, this seems like a good place to start. She was totally tired, you mean exhausted. She had to talk to the police and, was being investigated, every day. It was, a totally terrible situation. It's no wonder, then, that the car accident happened, huh? Yeah, we're gonna press harder. So then why didn't you ask to switch places? Huh? What are you talking about? I meant switch drivers. If your sister was so tired, then you should have switched with her. True, true. Ah, but I don't have a driver's license. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You don't have a driver's license, huh? Something about this is starting to look really screwy. Alright, This is news to me. I was not aware you didn't have your license, Ms. Meenie. Ms. Meenie, please amend your testimony. Oh, okay, well, we're gonna get her on that, then. Like, okay, anyway. Fell asleep in the passenger seat. Opened the door and got away. Didn't have my license, so I couldn't take over driving for her. Okay. Alright, well, that's a really interesting story. Because I got this. Ms. Meanie, that was a lame lie just now. Hello, Jimmy 2 Feet, welcome. Like, what do you mean? It's too much for me to take seriously, Overwhelming Shotgun. I just suspend my belief and immersion because this is how Japan makes games. And not just Japan, but Japan does it, it seems like, more than anyone else. I know you had a license back then. This is a photo you took for the express purpose of getting a driver's license. What is the meaning of this, Miss Meanie? That's right, yeah. I had, like, a license, but I didn't get it until after the accident. Yeah, except that this photo, I think, was found at the crime scene or something. No, you had it. You had it at the time of the accident. Director Hottie, or the guy pretending to be him anyway, said so. What, are you talking about that perverted fake clinic director? Yes, that perverted fake clinic director. And how did you know he was perverted? No one cares. Witness, when did you receive your driver's license? Like, last November. What? November? The accident happened last May. That's half a year lapse in time, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What in the... That's what happened, Mr. Wright. The time of the accident, Miss Meanie did not have a driver's license. What? Ow! Cry and my whip will accommodate. Anyway, without a license, the witness and her sister could not have switched drivers. I'm, like, glad you get it, but, like, even if I had my license, I, like, don't think my sis would have, like, let me drive. Yow, don't just stand there humming to yourself. Not you too, Mia, with the whip and the pain and the ow. Miss Meanie, why do you think you would not have been allowed to drive anyway? That's because... I think this situation calls for a more detailed testimony. Miss Meanie, if you please. Like how annoying. Oops, like sorry, didn't mean to be mean. Sure you did. Alright. Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license. My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She, like, had just gotten this shiny bright red sports car. She, like, would say things like, no way am I letting a noob drive my car. So, like, that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night, too. Okay. I see. A bright red car for sports. Now then, the defense may question the witness. I'm not terribly knowledgeable about... Oh, good! Well, that's a good thing I am! About cars. She was a big fan of cars, huh? She valued cars? How much would you say she valued her car? Well, like, she'd flip out at like a drop of rain. And, like, she would notice if someone, like, touched the car door with dirty hands. In that case, why bother taking the car out of the garage, even? Why did she take such special care of the car? How can you say that? It was a brand spanking new car. New car. Like, you wouldn't want to, like, get it dirty, would you, Mr. Lawyer? I think that cars getting dirty is just another fact of life, but I guess people who really love cars think otherwise. Phoenix, try asking something of more significance, okay? Well, what kind of car was it? Just gotten this. Okay, well, I guess we'll go with this. It was a new car. Yeah, she had, like, just gotten it. It was, like, new from... Wait a damn minute here! Wait a minute. It was from the UK. Alright, fine. Let's say it was an Aston Martin. Or a Rolls, or something like that, right? If this car was from the UK... The UK Okay, were those her boyfriend's initials? It was a really special model. She'd waited a whole year for it to arrive. Guess her love of cars would be the obvious next topic. Yes, we're gonna press harder. Because now we need to find out what side of the car she was sitting on. A Land Rover. Right, Yami. Hello, Draken, and welcome! Because this is going to make a big difference here, and the reason why is because in the UK, cars and everything to do with driving is backwards from the civilized world. Cars in the UK have right-hand drive, and they drive on the right side of the road there. Whereas by comparison, in both Japan and America, so regardless of what localization of this game you're playing, cars have left-hand drive, and people drive on the left side of the road. No, Japan most certainly drives on the left. Trust me, I know this. I've been there. I've ridden in cars in Japan. In Japan, they drive on the left. Well, the way that helps, Tucker, is because if the car is from the UK, and she claims she was in the passenger seat, then that would actually mean she would have been sitting on the left side of the car, rather than on the right. At least for the purposes of this localization. So our next line of questioning should be, which side of the car were you sitting on? Because if we ask her which side of the car she was sitting on, and she says the right side, after telling us that she was in the passenger seat in a car from the UK, I'm looking at this chart that you just posted, Hedgehog, and... Hello, Windar, welcome! Yeah, I think I might have said America drives on the left. I misspoke. I meant America drives on the right. But yeah, the point is... Hello, Underhill, welcome! How are you doing? Discount British, Dandy Wizard, wow. Anyway, the point is... I am alright, thank you, Underhill. The point is, the side of the car that she was sitting on matters. There's potentially a discrepancy. I really don't know anything about cars, but I had a feeling this was bound to come up. Your Honor, yes? Please have the witness append what she just said to her testimony. You mean the part about it being a special import car? Yes. Well, if you like cars that much, then... That's not my point. Though to be honest, I don't know what the point is either. Ms. Meany, would you please fix your testimony? Sure, whatever. Totally special model from England, so now I believe... I yelled hold it pretty forcefully, but I don't actually know what to ask about cars. Ask for the heck of it. So yeah, what am I supposed to pick for a topic? Let's start with this. Why are British cars good? Oh, Phoenix, come on, huh? They're expensive and their driver's seat is opposite to our cars here in the States. Alright. It would seem there is no benefit to owning one. Like, huh? This whole steering wheel on the right side thing, it's kind of goofy, isn't it? You, what do you know? That sleek shape, the purr of it, the way it's... the raw feeling of manual transit, the cool breeze of the... Forget... Her personality really changes at the... It's interesting, isn't it, Phoenix? Bit by bit, we're beginning to see the real contradiction behind this case. Oh, I think I know what they're driving at here. Ahaha, driving. Look what I did. Alright. I think maybe we need to present this article again, because... Crash into the highway center divide. One of the women was able to escape the flaming wreckage. Died at the crash site. Driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. Ah! Okay. There it is. I was half asleep, but I opened the right door and got out. I thought I remembered seeing something like this somewhere, but here we are. She would be getting out the left side if this were a British car. Alright. I've got you now. Ms. Meany, do you remember this article? Eh? It's an article about the accident. You had said this in the interview. But I opened the right door and, got out. That's correct, isn't it? Why are you suddenly asking me about that? Your Honor, which side is the passenger's seat? The left or the right? Well, it's on the right side, of course, because the driver's on the left. That would be if it were an American car, but it would be the opposite in a British car. Opposite. The two of them were riding in a British car. In that case, the passenger side would be the left side. What do you mean by this? Miss Meany, you said that you had escaped using the right side door of the car. But if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat. I think I see where this is going. So if she was the one driving the car, and if her sister didn't... If Mimi Meany didn't have a license, if that's actually true, the only thing that could be the case here is that she is actually her sister. Order! Order in the court! Order! Order! And she appears to look like her sister when she gets angry. Mr. Phoenix Wright is blabbering nonsense again. Eni said the person who was driving was her older sister, Mimi Meany. That is what Eni said, yes, but that is where her story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions. Phoenix, it looks like you finally found the real root of this murder. If we connect all the dots, there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Eni or Mimi, who was really driving that night? Apparently deliberately mistaken identity circular, because we learned that she had plastic surgery. We found out at the clinic that whoever was actually the survivor of that crash had plastic surgery. And if the photo was actually taken for Eenie Meenie's license, then she could have given the photo of her sister to have herself made to look like her sister. I think it was actually Eenie Meenie who died in that accident, and it was Mimi Meenie, the nurse, who survived. And it would make sense that she would want to take her sister's identity to escape the lifetime of humiliation and shame from having been accused of a med error killing 14 people. So it would have had to have been Mimi. The answer is the one person who had her driver's license, Mimi Meenie. After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive. But you just said the witness, Miss Eenie Meenie, was the one in the driver's seat. Which leads us to the next question. The next question? Who is the person standing at the witness stand right now? Ugh! What sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Exactly, Dandy Wizard, yes. This witness's name is... I'll tell you what her name really is. This witness's real name is... Attorney's Badge! No. It is Mimi Meenie. Oh, and if you screw this up, you get a huge penalty. Mimi Meenie, that is your real name. Of all the foolish dribble, then how do you explain her appearance? This witness had severe facial burns when she was admitted to the hospital. So for the purpose of facial reconstruction, the surgeons used a picture. Facial reconstruction surgery? This is the picture she gave her doctors at that time. That's right. It's a picture of her younger sister. No! But Mimi Meenie! Oh, Citizen Strife, why would you do that? Attorney's Badge, middle name Freaking. She died in the car accident. That's what everyone thought, however, that was not the case. Then the body they found at the crash site, that was the body of the real Eenie Meenie. Isn't that right, Miss Mimi Meenie? That car accident 1 year ago. The one who died that night was Eenie Meenie. Her sister Mimi then stole her face and was reborn as Eenie. With this, she effectively erased Mimi Meenie from existence. And I guess that also explains her motive for killing Dr. Gray, because he was the only one who would have been able to identify her. Your Honor, I'm sure you can now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. Gray. What do you mean? Ah! What is the meaning of this nonsense? Dr. Gray wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. Oh! Specifically the spirit of his nurse that died in the crash, Mimi. Okay, so I was kind of right. He would have been able to identify her, but not in the way that I thought. He wanted to call back the spirit of Mimi Meenie, but he couldn't have because the real Mimi Meenie was still alive. So she had to eliminate him to prevent him from releasing to the public the fact that the real Mimi Meenie was not actually dead, and therefore could not be called back. I see. This is not where I thought this was going to go, but it makes sense. However, that would not have been possible, because Mimi Meenie was still in fact alive. And that fact would have been discovered had the channeling been conducted, because it would have failed. So this witness had to stop that from happening. At all costs. And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner Gray? Is that what you're saying? Yes. Before the channeling, Dr. Gray had the misfortune of consulting this witness about communicating with the dead. Boy, that sure is a convenient plot coincidence. And in that moment, his fate was sealed. Well, Miss Eenie, why did you have to say my name just now? Eh? Looks like I've been unmasked. Witness. That's right, I admit it. My real name is Mimi Meanie. That quack doctor, he got what he deserved in the end. And I was so close to finally ditching Mimi, too. So close. But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself? To become your own sister? Well, understanding that requires an understanding of Japanese culture. If you've been accused of something in public media, even if it's proven not to be true, your life is over. You are done. You will never have a career again. Because public perception is all that really matters to people. And if you're perceived as a fraudster or a failure or a murderer as something negative even once, and that word spreads, the media gets a hold of that, people will never forget. I think I understand why. Mimi Meanie wanted her old self to disappear because of this. I think this would be, the malpractice. So probably the newspaper article number 1. Which, let me just make sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the... That's about the malpractice incident. Dr. Gray was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi Meanie. That's right, the person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi Meanie had a car accident in which she lost her younger sister. The timing couldn't have been worse. Exactly, Artista. 14 patients dying in that incident and her own sister's life extinguished was all too much to bear. I found a way for myself to escape it all, the only way. She lost everything in flames of that accident, her sister, and even her own face. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past and start a new life as her sister. Unbelievable, a plan beyond my wildest imagination. That jerk! If only he hadn't thought of that channeling mumbo-jumbo. Mumbo-jumbo? Becoming Eni has been the most horrible experience in the world. Spirit channeling the occult, I hate it all! I believe there are still a few unsolved riddles here, such as, why did Miss Meanie choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Miss Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. The innocence of the defendant Maya Fey. This is preposterous! I'm perfect! Me, Franziska von Karma! I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Miss von Karma. How about you? It's going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Your defeat that... Oh, finally! Finally! Phoenix shows a little smugness. Ow! Ah! Ah! Ow! 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 Ah! Ah! Alright, look, enough. And one more for good measure. Phoenix! Hang in there, Phoenix! Phoenix! This court is a fraud, a sham. Who's the real fraudster here? Well, I guess that's why you play as Apollo Justice in the next series. Now then, looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness, so I will go ahead and pronounce the verdict. Not guilty. Yay! Oh, it's just Mia left now. That is all. This court is adjourned. How's that humble pie tasting now, Mimi? And Franziska, for that matter. 99-point-some-odd%, Yami. What a failure. Congratulations, Maya. Sis! Oh, that... Oh, look! It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing? Sis, I didn't kill anyone, did I? No, you didn't. It was all just a dream. A really bad dream. You know, sis, in my dream I smelled a really familiar scent. A familiar scent. I was inside that clothing box, right? That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago. That's right. Assault and battery, anyway, Artista, yeah. Wielding a weapon with intent? There is still one thing I don't quite get. What's that? What would have happened if Mimi hadn't shot Dr. Gray? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot. I think Mimi Meanie had planned to open the door to the chamber herself. And then you and Lotta would have witnessed quite a scene. A possessed Maya Fey who had just committed a murder. She had it planned down to the smallest detail, huh? Nick, congrats, Maya. Thanks. Looks like you bailed me out of another jam. Well, you know, but I really don't want something like this to ever happen again. I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick. But every time something happens, I lose someone special to me. First my sister and now my aunt. Hey, Nick, tell me. Tell me why my aunt went and did something so horrible. Why would she help Mimi Meanie with a plan like that? I just don't understand it, Nick. Maya, it's over. Why don't we just let it be? Nick, please, I need an answer. The real reason Morgan... Yeah, it's because she wanted to replace you with Pearl. Pearly? 4 years from now, a new master will be born into Kurain Village. And that person will be you, Maya. And? But if you weren't there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear, and what would happen then? The Branch family, my aunt. No, Morgan's spiritual power is too weak. The next person would be Pearl's. Ah! Everything was done for her sake. It was also that Pearl's would become the next master. Yeah, I can see that. Did Maya say something just now? I think she was saying, I thought so. Alright, well. Date and time unknown, detention center, solitary confinement cell 13, alright. My precious Pearl. You are the only one suitable to be the master of Kurain, dear child. Oh, this has got to be Morgan. I sacrificed it all for you. So Morgan did get pinched for this. Good! I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder, and cooperated with that whip-happy prosecutor. It was all to unseat that annoying, witless main family girl. That Maya Fey. Well, that answers that. But I shall be patient, my dearest Pearl. A chance will present itself. Your time will come. Literally, if not for you meddling kids, Dandy Wizard. Turnabout Big Top. Oh, alright. Okay. So I guess we haven't seen the last of Franziska von Karma, huh? I see some of you in chat are not fond of this next case. Well, she is now overwhelming shotgun. Well, it sounds like this next case is gonna be a circus. I'm ending the stream now. Oh wow, Loki, that's serious. Minus 100 bits. Ouch. Ouch, you guys. Oh, thank you, Citizen Strife. Appreciate that, I think. But actually, I do need to get some dinner. So I am going to wrap things up here. It has been definitely a long day. And I apologize for the short stream. But, I am starving, and I desperately need to get some food. So we're going to go raid my friend Mielin, who I think is fairly close to finishing up Resident Evil 4, which appears to be what she's doing tonight. I will try to stream tomorrow, but there is a good chance I won't be able to, because I'm going to be attending the 1,000-follower special stream that a friend of mine, Charlie Bitme, is doing. She will be starting her stream at, I believe, 1 p.m. CEST, which is 7 a.m. EDT. And I want to make absolutely sure that I'm there to support her for that. So, I will be there for that tomorrow. I might stream a little later in the day tomorrow if I can. But all else being equal, that's going to be my priority. So in the meantime, let's go show Mielin a little bit of support. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing all of you, if not tomorrow, then hopefully Friday if I can, although Friday I have a dentist appointment, I'm realizing now, so we'll see. I'll do my best. Anyway, good night everyone, and I'll catch all of you hopefully soon.